Deepa? Deepa? Okay.
Okay. We shall start. Warm greetings from the Postgraduate Department of Commerce, Smt.A College, Natika. With immense pleasure, we have gathered here today on 9th January 2021 for the national webinar on the topic Art of Influencing by Dr. Merin Jacob, Assistant Professor, Tata Institute of Social Sciences, Mumbai. With profound gratitude and immense pleasure, we welcome each and everyone for being a part of our national seminar. Teachers from various colleges, students from various colleges, students and teachers from our college all have gathered here, and it's indeed a vibrant topic too. So looking forward for the seminar with great hope and anxiety. Let's begin the program with the blessings of God Almighty and Gurudev. I invite Smt.Praveena Vijayan, the pillar behind all our initiatives, to welcome the gathering. Teacher.
Okay, Deepa. Respected Principal Dr. Reena Ravindran, our resource person Dr. Merin Jacob, teachers, faculties from various institutions, and my dear students. Today, the Postgraduate Department of Commerce is hosting a national webinar on the topic Art of Influencing. The inaugural session has to be presided over by Dr. Reena Ravindran, our principal, but she is very busy with the NAC accreditation work at college. She has informed all her wishes for this program and she is unable to join now. But in her absence also, I welcome her to this program. The resource person of the day, Dr. Merin Jacob, Assistant Professor, Tata Institute of Social Sciences, Mumbai. She did her graduation in English Language and Literature from Devagiri College, Kozhikode. She did Masters in HRM from Rajagiri School of Management, Cochin. She was awarded PhD from Indian Institute of Management, Kozhikode on the topic Organizational Behavior and Human Resource Management. She has presented papers in various national and international conferences. Her research paper titled Creativity in Financially Constrained Organization, the Role of Organizational Research, has won the Best Paper Award at British Academy of Management Conference held at University of Warwick, United Kingdom. She is also associated with various companies in HR capability programs like RPG Group, MyG, etc. And she has, within her busy schedule, she has accepted our invitation and given us an opportunity for conducting this webinar. With immense pleasure, I welcome Dr. Merin Jacob to this webinar. I also welcome all the teachers and students within as well as from outside the institution who are attending this program. I also welcome our IQAC coordinator, Dr.Jaya PS, and all the students, not only of our college, but also from all the institutions who have accepted our invitation and attending this program. Once again, I also welcome the webinar coordinator, Smt.A Priyanka, and the student coordinator, Jugal. Once again, I welcome you all to this program.
Thank you, teacher. A perfect and pure academician, our principal. In her absence, let me continue with the program. I think Praveena teacher has already given an introduction about our resource person. So I think I have a different analysis on her biodata. What I have found interesting in her profile is that the students, you should look forward for her profile always, because she has taken BA Literature from Devagiri College, Kozhikode. I mean, and had added MBA from Rajagiri, Ernakulam. So a difference in her portfolio, I felt. And from then, she has taken PhD from IIM Calicut. So see the graph. The graph is going in a steady height, in a positive way. That's what we must look forward to. And even now she is at TIS. So I felt very interesting seeing her profile from BA Literature, the journey to TIS. And even I feel it can be taken as an example for all of us, because we all are degree students who want our career to have a steady growth. So with great commitment and hardship, I feel the way to TIS and the way to IIM is not beyond our achievement. So always we take this as a good motivation. Even the title also says that the art of influencing. So let's see how we can influence others, or we can be influenced by others. Both aspects are there. And I'm sure with the background of literature, but I have a confusion from literature to management. Even I want to hear from her how her journey was. And she has various publications and all that to her credit, but she has a well-developed portfolio. That's what, as a commerce academician, I can only say that. So with lots of love, teacher, with very happy I'm because seeing your profile. It's not a big biodata, or it's not, but the way you have carried your profile is quite interesting. And it is an example for all of us to learn, like how you can develop yourself. So with lots of happiness and with lot of gratitude, I invite you, ma'am, to the Department of Commerce for this national webinar. For the keynote address, I welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Deepa ma'am, for this wonderful introduction. And probably I'll answer your question towards the end of the session. But I think I should be answering your question in 2 sentences. So there are just 2 reasons for this interesting observation that you have made. One, I had a wonderful portfolio of faculty who had supported me throughout my career. Let it be from my school till my PhD, or till the college where I'm rightly working on. I don't know, gurus have been my best, and they have been the greatest support throughout my life. And that's what I've got you students to to observe. It's, you have the best faculty. If you really approach them with passion, okay, you can reach any height. See, I am coming from a total particular, you have heard about Mukkam, right? From, Moideen's Mukkam. So that's where I come from. Okay. And I'm still not a nerd. So if you ask my mom how I was while I was in my school or in my college, she'll never say I'm a studious girl, or I'm a very, see this other good girl or anything. No. It's from a very, very, very humble background that I'm coming. And if I can reach till this or till I am, I have no idea how far you can reach. So that's what I have got to tell. Say in one sentence I planned, but it became 2-3 sentences. And the second reason is nothing other than I basically did what I liked, what I am passionate about, and that's the reason why I still love what I'm doing. Okay, so this is what I love. I love talking to people. And thank you. So these are the two answers probably I can give you, Deepa ma'am, before I start off with my webinar. Thank you, Praveena ma'am, for the wonderful introduction that you have given me. And I also have got to thank Priyanka ma'am, who I was in conversation with for the past few months. And because of sudden change in schedules, I had to cancel many times. And I'm so sorry for that. I think I have to apologize that in this, webinar itself. Thank you so much, Priyanka ma'am, for providing me this wonderful opportunity to meet the students of SN College. And there is something very special about SN College. I just got to know that there are other faculties and other students from other colleges as well. But I really loved the introduction, the attendance that you have given for this webinar. And thank you so much. Well, yes, I think we can move on to the topic, which is the art of influencing. Well, wherever I go, I've never ever found another Merin in my session. So it's the first time in my life I meet another Merin in my class. How are you, Merin Thomas? Are you in SN College or in some other colleges? Can you just switch on your video if you can, if it's possible? Merin Thomas, if it's not possible for you to unmute or put on your video, that's fine. But I'm so happy to see you. See another Merin. Well, yes. So okay, I don't have a microphone. That's okay, Merin Thomas. So happy to see you. So happy to see another Merin. Yeah. So wherever I go, I'm the only person. So I'm like, I find another person just like me, who carries my name. Yeah. So. What is this topic? The moment you hear about influencing, the first thought, I'm sure, which comes to your mind is influencing. Oh, it's a derogatory term. Okay, somebody is influencing you. So it doesn't sound nice. You went to a shop. Okay, the sales guy was so good. A salwar or a suit which was just $500, you got it for $1,000, and you came back and you got to know that in online it's just $500. You're like, oh my God, I got influenced. So you would feel that influencing is, a bad word, but not necessarily. It's good and bad. So I'm not here to discuss whether influencing is good or bad. So here is going to be the two takeaways from this session. You're going to learn, one, how you can influence others in your life. Let it be in your personal life, let it be in your professional life. It's always good, if your faculty, if your friends, if your colleagues, if your parents just behaved the way you want them to behave, right? It's always nice if you get whatever you feel like having from others, right? So I'm going to discuss few strategies which will help you in influencing others. Now, second takeaway from this session is nothing other than you will get to know the ways wherein you were influenced by others. So after the session, don't come after me and tell, oh my God, I think my parents were influencing me like this, and that's the reason why I'm like this. Or, you're going to feel that probably after the session. Okay. So, yes. So, whatever I'm going to talk, the strategies basically come. So, let's have a presentation so that will help you in probably getting a little more connect. Okay. So, whatever I'm going to present basically comes from, or I have drawn from, one of the world famous researchers and practitioner. His name is Robert Cialdini. Okay, so he had written a book on influencing. Okay, so I'm trying to present. Okay. I hope you can see the screen. Yeah, so all the techniques that I'm going to discuss is derived from, Robert Cialdini. He is the professor of marketing at Arizona State University. So he's written multiple papers and multiple publications on books on the art of influencing, persuasion, and so on. Okay. So here is going to be the few strategies that you have already. So it's not going to be a rocket science. Okay, I assure you it's not going to be a rocket science. But I'm going to talk about 6 ways in which you were influencing others or you were being influenced by others. Now, if you've noticed, I started my presentation by calling Merin, right? Okay. In this entire crowd of 100, when I pointed on Merin, I'm sure, yes, Merin Thomas, you just dropped in a yes. You would have felt happy to, to be recognized in front of 100 people, right? You liked it. Right? So that is one way, or one of the best ways of influencing others, right? So you try to make the other person like you. And what happens when the other person like you? You'll never say a no to the individuals whom you know and whom you like. Okay, so one way of enhancing liking is by showing that me and Merin Thomas share a lot of so many common things. Okay, and that's not just one way of enhancing the liking. So let me take an incident from my friend's life. So she was my roommate in college, while we were in hostel, she was one person who hated vegetarian food like anything. Okay, so after her marriage was fixed, her would-be and myself went for lunch, and I saw her hogging avial sambar like anything. And then I got to know that her would-be is a hardcore vegetarian fan. And I saw her picking the, drumstick, licking it, keeping it aside. And it's like, oh my God. That is one way of showing that, you are similar. It generates a liking to the other person. That, I am similar to you. Okay, you better like me. Okay, another way is by praising somebody. Okay, I'm sure Deepa ma'am actually meant what she said. But at the end of the day, she was praising me. So I really like her because I really like the way she praised my growth and career, right? So that's another way in which you generate liking. So next time I meet her in person, I'm sure I'm going to run after her and say a good morning or a good good afternoon and say, how are you? Or we might actually enhance our familiarity or liking through repeated contacts. Why? Okay, so these are few strategies which I'm talking. Why do you actually go for interviews in a very pressed shirt, good suit, pretty? The one advice we give for all pretty young and young men and women is go really beautiful, but in a formal way. Okay, that physical attractiveness. If somebody is attractive in a crowd, you generally like that person, right? Okay, so that's the reason why we don't even in movies all the characters they are the heroes, heroines, they are epitome of beauty, right? So that if you have to like the heroes, if you have to like the heroines, they've got to be perfect shaped figures. You see the Axe perfume ad. They are all toned men, X-shaped men and Photoshop I would say, Photoshop female figures, don't you see pot-bellied women or pot-bellied men in such ads? No. Why? To enhance the liking. Another strategy, which, these are few ways in which you enhance your liking. Okay. Before you guys gonna get married, I'm sure you're gonna do this. Okay. Before you put your name in the, matrimony. Okay. If you're going for an arranged marriage, yeah, that's a question. If you are gonna remove all your clear all the FBs, Insta of those mushy tweets that you've made, or mushy comments that you've made, you're gonna do a data cleaning, right? Before you are gonna put your profile in a Chavara.matrimony or m4marry.com. Yes. Why? You want to be associated with something favorable so that the would-be family is going to like you. So this is one common way of influencing. Yes. And second way is by a scarcity. So first strategy is, enhancing the liking. I think that's pretty common to you. What is so funny about it? There's nothing funny about it, right? Now, the second way I would say is by, creating a scarcity. Now, what happened during COVID? Look at the status of toilet papers during COVID-19. They were actually, creating something called scarcity. If you're not going to get it, you're going to miss it. Okay, so buy. And why? So there are two techniques, playing hard to get suggesting that, okay, if you would have seen the Naptol ad, right? Whenever you switch on your Tata Sky, you find this Naptol advertisement coming with this beep sound, that ambulance, as if, somebody's going to die. What is it? Creating a sense of scarcity, right? If you're not going to buy, you're going to lose something. But if they have told, okay, this is what you have gonna gain by buying this product, nobody's gonna listen. But if you're gonna say that this is something which you're gonna lose, all right? If you're not buying this product, that creates an urgency. That creates a, oh my God, if I have to buy this product. And that's the reason why we have that, clock with that tring, limited time offer. If you're not going to buy, it's an exclusive product. You go to an organization and you are a very, skilled employee in a very niche skill money, a skill which is very rare. Okay, so you would create a sense of scarcity for them. So they'll be valuing more towards you, or they would be probably giving more remuneration to you just because you're a scarce skill. And if you really know how to show your scarcity, how you can show that you are a scarce resource in your organization, I'm sure you can really get the promotions and remunerations that you really want to have. Okay, so that's what. And the reason why we get influenced by the scarcity is because, we have that loss aversion. Okay, we really want more of something what we can get lesser. Loss aversion, we just cannot deal with it. So that's the second strategy. Okay, you have to create that, okay, you're going to lose me. Next time, don't approach your boyfriend or girlfriend telling, see, these are the benefits of, having me with you. But you can always talk about, these are the things we're going to lose if you do not accept my proposal. So I'm just giving you a small way of influencing, but it works. It really works in an uncertain environment. And I'm not joking, because in a COVID scenario, in a totally uncertain situation. So this is one strategy that if you've seen in advertisements, if you've gone to the retail outlets, you would have seen that, okay, this is one strategy they have used like anything. You can look into the products, you can look into the companies which have used the strategy. There are many, trust me. Okay, now we are going to the one of the most interesting ways of influencing others. Okay, I want to volunteer from you. I'm going to ask you a question. It's a very simple question. Don't worry, I'm not going to ask you any psychology question. Can somebody volunteer? Anybody can, switch on your video? Or do I have to call somebody from randomly call? Shall I do that? It's a simple question. I find, are there any takers? Let me see who's a risk taker here.
I'll volunteer, ma'am.
Yes, Agneshwar. Okay, I really gave him a big clap. Agneshwar, who is the one who have influenced you the most in your life?
I think my dad.
Dad. Why? I think it's...
Why? Because
yes, please. Let me hear from you.
why? Because he lives his life to the fullest. He gets to drive German. He gets to drive German. German cars. Drive German
cars. Okay.
Drive German cars. He gets a lot of free time.
Why do you think he has influenced you? Why do you think you listen to him?
Because a lot of people are interested in what he speaks, and he has a lot of values which people are concerned about.
Forget about others. I'm just asking you as a person. Why? He would have done so much for you, right?
Yeah, that's also true.
Yeah, so much of sacrifices. So, every class that I ask this question, they're going to tell, it's my dad, it's my father, it's my mom. Why? They have sacrificed so much, and you feel so obliged to pay them back, right?
Yeah, ma'am.
And that's exactly one of the most... Are you going to say a no to your papa or mama who have sacrificed their life for you, or you have done so much for you? You cannot, right? But we as parents, we always say it's selfless service. But in a sense, we do expect you. It's a very powerful way of influencing you. Not in a bad way, but there are certain standards that we keep in our family so that you better listen to them. So the powerful way in which we parents, I'm a mom of a 8-year-old. Okay, so one of the powerful ways in which I influence my daughter is like, see, what are the things I've done for you? So she has to say a yes. Okay, so I would say, or that's what Robert Cialdini say, or that's a global rule. Okay, you make the other person feel obliged. Okay, and you feel that you have to pay them back, and that develops to an ongoing relationship, which over the time you tend to comply with the person who have who have given you so much of favors. And why? Rule of reciprocity, regardless of across the globe, you have to pay back your debts. Let it be Muslim, let it be Christianity, let it be Islam, Christianity, Jainism, Hinduism. You have to pay back your debts, right? So that's a global norm. Okay, what happens if you do not pay back your debts? Okay, they have done so much favors, and if you're not paying back your debts, come on, at Christianity we say that you have to pay back your debts, or else you're gonna go to hell. What is there in hell? The lot of worms, blah blah blah. You have to pay back. And equivalent to Christianity, I think across all religions, across all regions, you have to pay back to whatever favors that you have received in life. And if you do not pay back your debts, okay, there are few ways in which society will punish you. If you've noticed in this figure, there are a few nations which are painted in bright red and slightly pinkish, and few nations in bright blue and lighter versions of blue, and there is one with green. Okay, so those blue nations, okay, the light blue and dark blue, are those nations, okay, wherein there is this, the culture is, if you do not pay back to your debt, they're gonna make you feel guilty. Okay, like the Good Samaritan, the parable that you would have heard from Bible. They'll make you feel guilty. You didn't take care of your parents, or you didn't take care of your friend who was in need. The society near you, they're gonna make you feel guilty. Okay, that's not the correct thing. That's not ethical. Okay, so these are the nations wherein the sense of guilt is really, really high. And the red nations are those nations in Africa, India, wherein, more than the guilt, what society would make you feel is ashamed. Come on, you didn't take care of your parents who took care, took care of all your concerns. They're gonna shame you, make you shame. And you are supposed to pay back your debts, because you always have this, feeling in your mind. Log kya kahenge? Oh, what do people think of? They're gonna make me ashamed. And there are nations, I think somewhere in South America, that's one of two nations, wherein they're gonna make you feel fearful. You're gonna pay this. Somebody is gonna, you're gonna have, negative consequences, very fearful consequences if you are not gonna pay back the debts that you have received, if you're not gonna pay back the favors that you have received. So this is a global norm, that, the powerful way of influencing another person, all right, is by giving an act of kindness. If you want to influence somebody, the best way across the globe, nobody can pay back to you. Okay, the powerful way is by doing an act of kindness, and people feel so obliged, regardless of caste, creed, region or country. You are supposed to pay it back. So you're creating, it's like, depositing safely in a bank. That's a powerful way of influencing. And this is also a powerful way in which you got influenced. Okay. And looking, in actually, how does it really happen in organizations? You would have seen this flat 50% off. You get 2 burgers. What do you feel when you see that, flat 50% off? Or you see that you get 2 burgers at a price of 1 with chips. Okay. And you're like, oh my God, with a price of 1 burger, I'm going to get 2 burgers and chips. So I'm getting something for free, which I'm not paying. So you feel that, okay, I think I need to buy that product. Okay, so that's the psyche behind all those, offers that you see. Flat 50% off. You get 2 burgers for chips for with a price of 1. So the way these organizations influence you is by making you feel obliged. Okay, you're getting for so much of concession. So it's like you're getting something for free and you're obliged to buy it. Yeah. Okay. And you also have seen people selling these free samples. They're like, do not buy a product, but at least try this free sample. But the moment you buy this free sample, the next time you go to the same showroom, I'm sure you'll have at least some lenience to buy that product, right? You will. And that's the power of reciprocity. We, in this strategy, this strategy promises unequal exchanges and larger favors. Yeah. And we as, kids, we also would have done this technique of door in the face technique. Let me tell you what the technique of reciprocation is all about. First, you'll ask your parents, okay, this is what my 8-year-old have done, say like 2 days back. Amma, it's Corona time and it's so boring at home. I'm like, yeah, what do I do? It's a situation for everybody, not just you. We promised that we can go for a camping. She loves, she used to watch this Peppa Pig cartoon, and there is this camping episodes happening. And like, you promised me camping. I'm like, not possible. Okay, camping too not possible, but can I get a bicycle so that I can cycle? I'm like, you can't go outside. So, how can I get you a cycle? All right. And there comes the third request. So can I at least have an ice cream? So her major intent was to have an ice cream. See from where she went, camping, cycle, and then an ice cream. You came with a larger favor, smaller favor, and a little more smaller favor. What happens? What do I feel? Oh my God, she asked for something big. I'm not even giving that. So I think I need to give her concession. I need to actually reciprocate. She didn't ask me. I couldn't give her a larger favor, but at least an ice cream, yes. Very, very powerful way. So that's a global way of influencing. So that's a third way. Okay. Now the fourth way. You have any questions you can ask me, or probably we'll have the questions towards the end of the session. So that's a third way of influencing. Now the fourth way. Okay, so let me give you an example of a study that happened in a restaurant in Chicago. So there was this problem. People just randomly, booked the restaurant and booked a table, and they don't show up after the, at the time. So they have to reserve the table forever and for the guests, and they don't turn up. And it's happened that 67% of these callers, they do not show up. So that's like their profits were running down. So they asked Robert Cialdini, the professor which I was referring to, what do we do? So, he just gave them one advice. Okay, he asked, okay, when they do not show up, don't you actually call and ask whether they're going to come up? They said, yes, we call every morning and ask, okay, are you going to come up? This is the day that you have booked, and this is the time that you have booked for this lunch or dinner or whatever. They're like, yeah, I do. Then Robert Cialdini said one magical sentence. And that magical sentence is, will you call me back? So the restaurant lady or the front staff who's, who calls this persons who have booked for the table, okay, only one sentence she has got to add in the conversation. And that one sentence is, dear so-and-so, will you call me back if you are canceling or say postponing the booking? So that two wonderful words, will you call me back? Okay, what is happening? You are giving a commitment that I am coming, or I will call you if I am canceling. Once you've given that commitment, it's very difficult to, move back from our words, right? Because people always have a desire to look consistent throughout their words, beliefs, attitudes, deeds. Why? Taking back or moving back from our promises is not something that is valued by society. You promise that you will go ahead with this decision in your life. And then taking, frivoling from that decision, that's like, okay, that person is like, in Thrissur, we said, we say that maningilde swabhavananu parayum. I hope people from Thrissur. So that's something which was new to me because I come from Kozhikode, and when I came to Thrissur, this is fun. I'm like, what does this maningil got to do with people? For me, it was like something new, and this is exactly what they mean. Maningilde swabhavanu. So people really value commitment, and that's the reason. If you want to influence somebody, okay, if you want to influence somebody, So the best, say probably you have a big crowd in front of you. Okay, you want to say, suppose you're going, college, you're all college going, degree students, right? If you're going for a excursion and your preferred location is, say, Goa, okay? And if you want to have a quick yes from the group, just ask people to raise their hands. Very simple. Okay, who all want to go to Goa? Just raise your hands, and people who are like doubtful, or if people who really want to go also, they'll raise. And seeing others, some people who are really doubtful whether I should be going to Goa, will my parents agree to it? Still, they'll be raising their hands. And once they've raised their hands, once they've shown the commitment, it's very difficult to move back. Yeah. So that's a very, very different way of influencing. You enter an interview. Okay, you get into an interview. Prepare something. So before that, you have, you can do a lot of liking strategy influencing by, really understanding what the organization is all about, what the profile you are gonna receive, who is going to be the interviewer. So most of my students at TIS, before they have an interview, what they do is they look into the profile, the LinkedIn profile of all the recruiters. Okay, the major top heads in the organization. What are their papers? What are their tweets? They look into LinkedIn, they look into Insta, they look into Facebook, they look into all the all the tweets, all the comments that they've made in the social media. Trust me. Why? They want to get something which they like, and they prepare it accordingly. You bring in that familiarity, throughout the conversation. Okay, throughout the conversation, you bring in that liking between the interviewer and you as an interviewee. Okay, and you channelize the communication the way you want. Okay, and the moment you get their liking, okay, and they made a commitment. Yeah, that is something I really like, I adore. Once you've made that commitment, once they have made that commitment, probably you will ask questions like, so do you think I'm a right fit in this organization? And if they say a yes, a commitment, then it's very difficult for them to move back. Okay, so you all do a lot of such commitment strategies in your real life. Now, if you're going to buy a car, okay, or forget a car. While I was traveling in Mumbai, so in Mumbai, the accommodation is the greatest. Getting an accommodation in Mumbai, the cost of living is very high. So getting a good apartment is something really difficult in Mumbai, or buying an apartment. So wherever in Mumbai, the hoardings, you have like 2 BHK, 3 BHK. So just for 1 crore or 2 crore. And I'm like, wow. But the moment you approach them, they're like, yeah, but that is just the starting price. You said yes, and then they'll just go on with more and more demands. But the moment you said yes and you've made a commitment, it's very difficult to move back, and they'll make you buy. So this is something which will really happen to you when you go for buying a car. They say that, okay, off-road, this is the price of the car. But when you actually go, say a yes, commit the car and book the car, and later you get to know that, okay, on the road price, though, it's another 2 lakhs. So that's called a low ball technique, wherein you're pitching a very attractive offer, and then you're slowly increasing the price. How does it work? It's because you have got the commitment initially, and it's the general psyche of human beings to be consistent with your promises that you've made. Yeah. So this is the third way. The fourth way of influencing. You have also been influenced. Say if you are working on a student project, some student in your friend circle would just come to you and tell, see, I think this project is very difficult for me. And you're like, aha, this guy is gonna make me do the project. And you're like, no, I am really busy, so I can't really do the project for you. And this guy is like, no, I'm not asking you to do the project. At least, can you just sit with me so that, if at all, at least the introduction part, can you just help me? So you're like, okay, it's just the introduction part. Okay, you said yes. Okay, the first yes, they started with a very small request. Can you just help me with the introduction part? Like, yeah, yes. Then after that, do you think this also works towards the end of the project? Do you think this plan would work? And the requests go on increasing. And that's called foot in the door technique, wherein you start with a small request, you get their commitment first with a small request, and then you go on adding with little more, even bigger ones. Because you've made a commitment of, okay, yes, I'll do. You can't move, take back from your commitment. So this is a powerful way in which you have influenced and you have been influenced by others. I'm not sure whether you have realized that there is a psyche behind such offers that you see for cars, for flats, apartments. So this is the psyche. They know that once you've made a commitment, it's very difficult to move back. Yeah. So that's the fourth way. Yeah. Another way. Okay. This. So right now we have learned 4 techniques. One is liking, making the other person like you. Then there are very many strategies. Second way is, creating that scarcity. You're going to lose it. Third way is act of, reciprocation, act of kindness. Fourth way, which I just said, is make the other person commit. Okay, get their commitment, as soon as possible, and then you just add on to your request, or make their commitment, like the low ball technique which you use for car sale. Pitch a very attractive offer. You get the yes, you get the commitment, and then you increase price. So that's the fourth way. Now the fifth way of influencing is called social proofing. Okay, now this really, it acts like a nudge theory, which Kahneman and Taylor, the Nobel laureates, have proposed. The social proofing is all about how do you actually bring in obedience to a larger crowd. Okay, see, if I tell you 3 statements. So there's suppose there's an apartment, okay, and you really want to minimize the use of electricity in that apartment complex. If I give you 3 flash boards, okay, or name board, which you can keep in the front of a flash, keep in the front of these apartments. Okay, so the name board, titles are: first name board pay, help this apartment save electricity. Okay. Second name board pay, help save the environment. Okay. And third name board pay, residents in block A, like you, have cooperated in saving the environment. Okay. So the question is to the entire class. Which do you think would be more effective? 1, help this apartment save electricity or save energy. 2nd, help save the environment. And 3rd, residents in block A have cooperated in saving the environment. So anybody can answer. Which do you think would be the most effective one? 3rd one? Well, yes. Why? Yes, Shividya. So, what is the 3rd one? Why? People in block A, they have done it. So why not me? So this is something which really works in, some people say with women a lot, but with men as well. You say that, they have done it, so why not us? You just give them, one name board telling, okay, you save the environment, please help, please help. Nobody's going to listen. But if you say somebody else has done it, just like you, if they have done it, why not you? That becomes, okay, I have to, okay, so I am also comparable with them. So if they can do it, then I also better have to do it, just to show off or whatever be the reason. Yeah. And how do you actually, so it's not just by these name boards or creating a nudge by, okay, they have, or people in this society have done it, and that society have done it, you better do it. So that's a very powerful way of bringing, or influencing others. So there's a very interesting phenomena that you have witnessed last year, okay, which is called pick technique. So this pick technique is a powerful strategy used within this social proofing strategy of bringing in, mass influence. Mass influence means influencing everybody to obey something. Last year, because of Corona, we have, heard this Thali Bajao, Corona Bhagao, and Diya Chalao, go Corona, go Corona. What are the first impressions that you have had? Like people who were, see, I'm not a Modi a fan, or I have nothing to do with politics. But for me, it sounded like a very, very powerful way of influencing a people. Why? When you hear this Thali Bajao and Diya Chalao, people who are Modi supporters, they were like, wow, they were like so curious. This is something strange. So what is happening? And people who are not like Modi supporters, or people who hate Modi, they're like, what the hell is happening? They get so irritated, right? And what happens? So they started, they started getting interested. What is happening with this Thali Bajao and Corona Bhagao or Diya Chalao? You are bringing in a very strange request. You bring in a strange request. So government came with, or Modi came with a very strange request. And what happened? People were like, okay, what is it? Some people were curious, some people were irritated, but all of us, we were interested. And what happened? You saw Amitabh Bachchan, Jaya Bachchan, Aishwarya Rai, they were, lighting Corona and Thali, they were, beating vessels. The moment they did, there was Shilpa Shetty doing, there was Kareena Kapoor doing, there was, and it's like from one person, so many people, did the same technique. Even in Kerala, which is not a BJP supporting state, there are so many places wherein diyas were on. It bring in mass obedience throughout the nation. How? The technique is called pick technique of social proofing, wherein you gave a very, very strange request, and that people became very irritated, very confused, very interested. And one person started doing, who was very famous. Another person started doing. Then it became like a garland. One person from another, like Trishur Puram ka, crackers, just burned like anything, and the message was passed. Yeah, that you have to give credit to people who are, the people in the medical profession who are sacrificing their life. Be safe, stay safe. The message was passed. Okay. So, and that bring in the lot of social proofing or mass obedience within the entire nation. Okay, trust me, I'm not a Modi supporter or a Modi unsupporter. This is just my sole purpose is to give you, so these are the powerful ways of influencing. We had one company who brought in Sunny Leone as for inauguration. Sunny Leone at that point of time was still a porn star. So everybody were curious. So that was something so unpopular, or so, I would not say unpopular. I would, in a formal way say, so we've not seen this. It was so unfamiliar for us. They brought in Sunny Leone and we were like, oh my God, what's happening? So that, company, that's how they created that visibility. And trust me, that company has got, say, 86 or old showrooms within Kerala, and they are on a huge growth spree right now. They are growing like anything. Look at the way they have influenced us. Yeah. So that's the fifth way. Giving, bringing that sense of feeling that, okay, so many are abiding, so why not me? Yeah. You see somebody obeying obeying a particular rule, another person obeying, so you have to, you create that insecurity in other ways, right? That you have to, abide for. Yeah. Now let me go to the most powerful way of influencing. And that way of influencing is nothing other than authority. Okay. So that's something you'll be like thinking, okay, people in power, they are influential. What is so funny about it? Yes, they are. Let me take you, and there is good and bad for this use of authority or use of power in influencing people. So let me take you to an experiment that probably before talking about an experiment, I'll talk about what happened in Abu Ghraib prison. If you remember, in 2004, we came to know that, I think you guys would be in school at that time, but it was so disheartening. Abu Ghraib, when the world came to know that about the atrocities American prisoners were doing to the prisoner, not American prisoners, American soldiers, men and women who were just like you and me, okay, normal people. The atrocities that they were doing to the prisoners at Abu Ghraib. You should see the photos. I don't know whether you're aware of it, but the atrocities are so much. Why? The reason is they had the power, the uniforms. Okay, so they were like just you and me, but authority, power, that has a lot of influence on others. Yeah. So so this Abu Ghraib prison incident happened in 2004, but decades back, say down in 1960s, there was an experiment conducted by a person called Zimbardo. Okay, Professor Zimbardo, and his experiment was very simple. He recruited 12 men of, say, 12 normal men. Who were 24 years old, who were just like you, done with their degrees, very normal people. They were called for an experiment, and they were not told what the purpose of experiment was. They were just told that we were trying to understand your, behavior in a closed room. Yeah, thank you so much. Zimbardo experiment. Good that you're aware of it. Okay, so for the people who are not aware of the Zimbardo experiment, the experiment conducted by Professor Zimbardo, the 12 men who were called for the experiment, they were told that they were just called for understanding their behavior in a closed room scenario, and among the 12 men, 6 men they took a lot. Okay, they did not have any variance with respect to race, or they were all similar men in a very humble or normal settings. So before they started the experiment, they were asked to take a lot, and people who got a lot, 6 people were assigned as prisoners and 6 people were assigned as guards, police. Okay, the role that they received as police or prisoner just depended on that lot. Nothing other than that. Trust me, nothing other than that. Okay, and you know what they did? So the experiment goes like this. So the prisoners were really handcuffed. You know, everything happened in a real life way. The prisoners were handcuffed, arrested from their homes with policemen. You know, people who were the 6 people who were acting out like policemen. They came in the robes of police with the shades, the lathis, the stars over here, and they handcuffed the prisoners, just pulled them back, snatched them by their shirt, took off from their homes, and they were actually made to live inside an actual prison which was just made for the study. Okay. First day, everything seemed normal. Yeah. But after the first day, from the second day onwards, prisoners actually behaved like prisoners. And you have to see that the guards, people who got the role of guards, the moment they got their uniforms, the moment they got their caps, they got their shades, they got their lathis, they actually behaved like policemen. They started abusing the prisoners. They actually know that it's just a matter of a lot. Okay, they started, making the prisoners do exercises, cleaning their bathrooms with their hands. And trust me, guys, they started abusing the prisoners, even sexually, at the end of 5 days or 6 days, if I remember. Within 5 days, normal people actually became satanic. Why? It's the power of authority. Authority is something which is which has got a lot of influence on others. You got the shades, you got the lathi, okay? So you behave like one, okay? You have this, so better listen to me. And why the hell did the prisoners listen to these people? Why? They got so influenced because, obedience or careful obedience or blind obedience is perceived to constitute as the correct conduct across cultures. Even in, give me an example of one culture or one religion that do not, praise the blessings of obedience. Even in Christianity, the 10 Commandments, the fourth, the fourth commandment is, blind obedience. You have to obey your parents. There's nothing wrong in obeying the parents, but obedience is something which is perceived as the correct conduct across cultures. So prisoners, that's the way they are attuned to. So authority is the symbols of authority. Let it be the titles that you hold, the badges that you have here, the stars that you have here, the clothes that you wear, the automobiles that you have. You tend to be unknowingly be influenced. I don't know how many of you have heard about Adolf Eichmann. So he was the left-hander of Hitler. Okay, and he was responsible for the prosecution of Nazis. So after World War was over, and after the Hitler was caught, and this guy, this Adolf Eichmann, was caught 15 years after the death of Hitler. Okay, he was in hiding. When he was caught, he just said, see, how can you persecute me? Or how can you, how am I responsible? I just obeyed Hitler. Yeah. So, and there was a very, very wonderful statement made by the court. Mr. Adolf, you are responsible for your obedience. He obeyed because, that's the way he got influenced by the authority. Yeah. Now, I'm not. The purpose of this interaction or purpose of this examples is not to give you the feeling that showing authority is bad way of influencing. That's just a one layer of influencing. Influencing through authority gives you, so the key takeaway that you have got to have is that's a very powerful way of influencing another person. You tend to get influenced by Virat Kohli. Okay, when he says boost is the secret of my energy, he is the person of authority, he's the man of the millennium, right? Man of the century. So you better listen to him. He's one person whom you find as the a person of authority to talk about physical well-being. Okay, and a Smt.A ad wherein they say 9 out of 10 dentists recommend this toothpaste. Dentists, so they are the best to talk about the dental hygiene. So I better listen to him. Or during Corona time, you pick up, you want to phone somebody. The first voice that you hear is from Amitabh Bachchan. So that's a person whom you adore, right? And he would be saying, go Corona, badao, blah, blah, blah. You have to have that. I don't know how to mimic him, but still, but in his very bass voice, he is the authority for us to talk about, feel safe. He's so aged. And he asked us to, he asked us to follow the norms of Corona. Corona bhagane ke liye aisa hi karna hai, blah blah blah, and we listen to him. And why do we have these brand ambassadors? Because the way they choose the ambassadors, Kohli for Boost, or say Sachin for Boost. Why? They are the powers, symbols of authority, and we as parents or customers, we as customers listen to them. Yeah. Okay. So these are the ways in which, right, we get influence or we can influence somebody. So how do you actually enact your authority? Okay, it could be through the titles that you uphold, designations, the DR name with behind my name. So that's a very powerful way of me influencing a crowd, me influencing another person. The clothes that you wear, the automobiles that you use. So all of these, what are the symbols of authority you need to actually think about? Yeah. So these are few ways in which you can influence another person and the way you were influencing others. Yeah. So, so that's what mostly I've got to talk about, the art of influencing. Yeah. I basically talked about 6 different strategies, which I think probably you would remember. Make the other person like you. You can use any strategies, praising, bring in that familiarity, like the Avial episode that I just said, creating that sense of urgency, scarcity. I'm a scarce resource. Okay. You need to talk about what is it that you're going to lose if you do not have me. Okay. Third way, you influence somebody by a first act of kindness. You do something good for them. You give them a free sample. You give them a free gift. They're going to remember it. And they're supposed to remember it because that's our cultural norm. Yeah. So that's by a rule of reciprocity, by act of obligation. The fourth way, see, social proofing. Somebody else is doing that. So why not you? You get, that's like a social proofing, and you better, or you give some strange request like Corona bagao, thali bajao, whatever. And you make somebody obey it, and then it becomes a mass obedience. Person A is doing, person B is doing, oh, better I should also be doing. Or fifth way is to get that commitment in an interview. The very first 5 minutes, get that commitment from your interviewer. How? It could be through liking, it could be through scarcity, that you are, you are capable. These are your strengths. So you better, recruit. I'm not telling you better recruit me, but in a very polished way. Yeah, you get the commitment from the person which you want to say yes. Okay, and the fifth or the last way is by showing your authority, probably through the titles that you hold, the way you present yourself. Yeah, so these are the few powerful ways in which the powerful messages you can give, okay, to influence another person, right? So this is what I have got to talk about, influencing. So I hope you have liked the presentation. If you have any doubts, please ask me. Did you actually, so just a question, did you actually think about, okay, was I doing these strategies? I didn't even know about it. Yes, I leave it to you. I leave it for, a question answer. If you have any doubts, you can ask me.
Students, you can interact with the ma'am now.
You've got any questions?
How are these strategies applied within corporate setups, ma'am? Srividya's approach.
Yeah, let me tell you, I spoke about the liking strategies. Before you actually apply for a job, what do? You look into the profile of the organization. During the interview, you get to know what are the values that a particular company upholds. Say, for example, Taj Group, something which they really value is respect. Okay, so what you portray in your behavior is all about respect. Somebody senior gets into you, pop up. It's as if there is some spring underneath your chair. You pop up like anything. You show respect, right? You look into the LinkedIn profiles of the interviewers, get to know what they value, what they talk about. You bring in some similarity. Okay, so these are few ways in which there are very many ways in which liking principle. You have done it in your personal life as well. Authority, showing your authority in organization. Say if you want to have a promotion, you better show. So these are the training or certifications that I have with respect to a particular project. So I think I am the person of authority to hand over this project, or I think I am capable. You show symbols of authority. It could be your certifications, it could be your degrees. Yeah, this is how these strategies are applied. Or from an organization perspective, how do you bring in social proofing? Mass obedience. Very simple way. If an organization want to minimize paper usage, okay, paper usage in within the within the firm or within the departments, if they have to minimize the paper usage, one way which they use is probably have a competition, right? And say this is the winner. Yeah, if they can do it, why not we? Very, very simple or subtle ways of influencing. Yeah, so that's how companies use these strategies. Corporates use these strategies, and say with respect to if you have received any appointment letter in your life, offer letter. So they basically talk about before you actually step inside the firm. Okay, you are hearing about the benefits the company is doing. See, your parents will get an insurance, or we have a family outing with you. Before you join, you get to know about the benefits that you're gonna receive. if you're joining the organization, and you feel so obliged, and there's a lot of personal connect probably the company is making by giving you or some personal benefits, let it be with respect to accommodation or having a mentor before joining, having a buddy. So you feel that they're investing so much of time and effort in me before joining, so I better be I better be with the firm, or I better join this firm, right? So there's one interesting way in which Zappos, it's a company which I hope you've heard about. Zappos, it was acquired by Amazon in 2004 or 9. They had a very interesting recruitment policy. You know what it is? After the internship, influencing by authority, probably I'll do that. Yeah, I'll just answer that authority question in a few seconds. Yes, Zappos recruitment strategy. So once they recruit people, trainees to their sales profession, they undergo a very rigorous training program, internship training program for 2 months. After the end of 2 months, okay, they're gonna tell that they'll receive a letter from the organization telling you can take $4,000 and leave this organization, okay? Or if you want to join this organization, you can join. So it's like they are gonna give $4,000 just to leave the organization, and people will like, why am I getting $4,000 just to leave this organization? Okay, and say only 2% of recruitees have left the organization. They have invested so much of training for the last 2-3 months. They have invested so much on us, and they're giving this to $4,000 for me to leave. And they're telling that I am in the letter. They're also telling that you're a very, very valuable asset to this organization. We really love to have you. Okay, but if you want to leave, we will give you $4,000. And trust me, only 2% of the entire joiners have taken this $4,000. The entire 98% have joined the organization of Zappos. Okay, why? What do they? They have invested so much of time and efforts for the last 3-4 months, and I better reciprocate. And they've given me $4,000 for me to join, to leave. No, I'm not gonna, take that offer. Okay, what I feel is a kind of dissonance, right? So every day, so once I accept this offer, from the very next day or till the days I leave that organization, I'm gonna wake up with something in my mind. Okay, I am obliged to this job because I have not accepted $4,000 to leave this organization. So I love this organization like anything. They have invested so much in me. They've offered me something and I've not accepted it. I am obliged to pay them back. Yeah, every day I wake up with that obligation. Yeah, so these are very subtle ways in which you manage. You try to manage or influence your employees. So these are a few examples that I could talk about. Now, somebody had asked about the authority, influencing by authority. Influencing by authority, it could be a positive or negative. So anyways, reciprocation or all the strategies that I discussed could be used in a positive way or in a negative way. So either ways. Through authority, all it means is that when you choose somebody of authority to talk about your product, there is very high chances that people would get influenced. The reason is just that people tend to listen to people with the symbols of power. Okay, because that is how we are attuned to obey to the authority, listen to the authority. Obedience is always written in golden lines in every religious, regional, or cultural textbooks. Yeah, and that's the reason why we have people of authority as brand ambassadors. Okay, let it be Kalyan. They talk about Vishwasam adalle ellam. We trust Mohanlal like anything. We trust Amitabh Bachchan like anything. Okay, so they are the best people to talk about trust, to talk about Kalyan Jewelers. Yeah, Kohli, he is the epitome of physical fitness because he plays for India. He is the man who can influence us to talk about, growing up strong, having so much of physical fitness, and that's exactly the reason why we have Kohli. Yeah, Horlicks ka ad. The best people to talk about growing stronger, sharper, and taller. It's the researchers. They talk about a research which proves that there's an evidence. It comes from people of authority, researchers who have proven that having Horlicks make you taller, stronger, sharper, right? So that's the power of influence. Researchers say so, dentists say so. They have the authority. That's how they influence us. I hope I hope you got how authority can influence. Yes, how does the art of influencing relate with the convention of living? What did you mean by convention of living? Can you explain? Abhirami? I need to understand what you meant by convention of living so I can give you an accurate answer. Abhirami E. Mohandas? Traditional methods and olden days. I think I spoke about. Okay. Well, yes. This art of influencing has got to do a lot of our conventional ways of living. This was how we have been influenced by the myths, the stories that we have heard before. You give me any example. Say, let it be. Very, very, very simple example of authority is listening to listening to our the traditions that we still uphold. Most of which say, like, if a black cat passes by when you are stepping out, it doesn't mean anything, right? But still you follow it. Why? Because that has been something which has passed down to your generations, from your fathers, from your forefathers. Grandmothers have told about it. You should not cut your nails at night. Why? Because at olden times, when you cut your nails, the nails, it's very dark. They like olden times, we didn't have the CFL lamps or huge tube lights, so you don't see the nails. A baby passes by, they might get hurt. So that was the only rational, but we still don't cut our nails at night, right? That's the power of obedience, the power of authority. That's something olden days they've told, and that has been passed to our generations, and we still listen to the wisdom of the elderly people. But some but some advices or some I'm not making fun of the logic, or I'm not making fun of the old age beliefs, but some beliefs, at least right now, doesn't make sense, but still we are influenced by the power of authority that has been passed by people whom we adore, whom we respect like anything, our grandparents, our ancestors. We respect them a lot. So they are the people of authority in our family. So that's how we are getting influenced. Yeah. That's great. So even in personal life, olden days, if you have to, yeah, you can actually look back to Mahabharata, wherein Arjuna listens to Krishna, a man of authority, right? How he listens and how he gets influenced, wherein Krishna made the entire scene static, and he was listening to Krishna, the way Krishna influences Arjuna. Yeah. So he has used a lot of influencing strategies. Yeah, he has used all the ways of liking, familiarity, social proofing. Yeah, you can see a lot of instances of all these strategies in all mythologies. Yeah, the Good Samaritan by in Bible, that basically talk about the rule of reciprocity. Yeah. Then many fables, let it be Aesop fables, basically talk about all these, influencing strategies. Any more doubts? Yeah, thank you. Well, yes, Deepa
Yes,
ma'am.
yes, I can continue.
Sure.
I think the way I have influence, I must tell a word about you because the sentence that you have told, you have done what you liked. That is your portfolio, I believe.
Yes.
And that is a statement which has influenced me a lot. First one, I can say. Second is all about your pace in communicating, the strength and vibration that you have shown from the beginning till the end without a break. That has influenced me. Third thing, what I can say is that your entire portfolio, like what we can say that it can be told as an authority, that has influenced me. So the way, like you have told 5 different ways, I thought I should give back to you too. So this 5 beautiful ways, I think the students would have felt very
Six,
interesting.
not 5. It was
I mean,
6.
yeah, 6.
Maybe you
So I
missed.
think the students would have got very interested because even my son listened. So it is because that the way of communicating was very vibrant, and it has reached your target, I must say. What you planned, it has been done. And thank you, ma'am. And I just want to know whether Jaya ma'am is there in the meeting.
Ilya Deepa. Deepa, Ilya.
Okay. IQAC coordinator, she is not there. So in her absence, I wanted to call the coordinator of the program, Priyanka teacher. Teacher, it was a very wonderful session, and actually influencing is an art. That's what we have felt today, and we always look forward for such beautiful classes. And I want to say that it should not have been an online class. I mean, it would have made a greater impact if it was a offline mode, if it was in an offline mode. So I feel maybe in future we can look forward for such a program too. So I invite the coordinator of the program, Priyanka teacher, to convey the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon to all, especially to Merin.
Good
I
afternoon.
feel immensely proud to get a chance to present the vote of thanks on behalf of our Department of Commerce. I want to thank all of you for being part of the webinar. Let me first of all start by giving glory to the Almighty God for making today's occasion a resounding success. Then I thank our well-wisher, Principal Dr. Reena Ravindran ma'am for her encouragement, support, vision and commitment. We, Department of Commerce, are thankful for your huge support at all times. Unfortunately, Reena ma'am is not here. She is very busy with her NAC work. Marin? Then next, a big thank to Dr. Marin Jacob, Assistant Professor, Tata Institute of Social Sciences, who, despite her busy schedule, has found time to grace this occasion. I must mention our deep sense of appreciation for her speech, Art of Influencing. In nowadays, we hear the word social distancing, mask, keep sanitizing, everything. But today, the word influencing. I, I am sure our students are influenced by you as Marin. Your word influencing at the same time, the person, Dr. Marin Jacob. We are all inspired by your great words. The lecture which was given by you was an interesting and inspiring one, especially strategies. The book influencing, you introduced our students. Thank you, Marie. I would like to thank Dr. Jaya PS, IQAC coordinator of our college, who always support our departmental activities. Unfortunately, due to some important work, she couldn't join in this webinar. Words are not sufficient to thank students and teachers for spending your valuable time on this occasion, especially teachers and students from other colleges and universities. This vote of thanks would be largely incomplete without expressing my gratitude to our beloved head of the department, Praveena ma'am, and also to my colleagues in the department who have been working really hard and carrying out all the allotted duties very diligently. Thanks to our beloved students, especially Jugal Dev, student coordinator of this webinar. Thank you all once again with love.
Thank you so much for this warm welcome and warm word of thanks, Priyanka ma'am, Deepa ma'am, principal ma'am, and the students and faculties. I would love to be, in an offline mode. And I have never, it's been a pain to see just the purple, pink, and green buttons in front of me and very few videos. I am a prof who want to be, with the crowd, dance with the crowd, be with the crowd. I just hope that I get a chance to meet all of you in person in near future after this corona aftermath. So thank you so much. I hope I could, interest you. Thank you so much, Abhishek. Okay, you're from Madhya Pradesh. I never knew that. I'm so unlucky to not meet you, Abhishek, or people who have gathered around here to spare this 1.5 hours with me. Thank you so much. If you have any doubts, probably you can reach me at Marin Jacob 2000 Marin.Jacob at 2017. I'll just or probably I'll give you my official ID or personal ID. Probably if you have any doubt, probably you can pop in my Gmail ID or in my official ID. Marin. Yeah, that's my email ID. You can I would have most of these doubts usually come after the session. So unfortunately, we can't postpone this session for because it's off in an online mode. If it's an offline mode, you could have just approached me and I could approach you and discuss. But you can always pop in this message. Yeah, thank you so much, Sonu, Fida, and everybody. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
We can call it for a day. Yes, Deepa ma'am and Priyanka ma'am, you really influenced me.